Hi guys, Jamie here from My Starless Guy, bringing you episode 9 of the MSS podcast. And today we've got another Dragon Ball discussion. I know, big surprise, right? So, for today's topic, I want to kind of talk about the Goku Black arc a little bit and some of the time travel things that transpired in the arc that, um, kind of imply some things that maybe you didn't think about. So, to kind of preface my video, I would direct your attention to the YouTuber Quaman. Now, he's had quite a few different names for his channel over the years. It's been Detective Q, just straight Quaman, Quaman's Land. I'm not actually even sure what it is right now, but he did a video breaking down the original Z Trunks arc, and he has these rules for time travel in the Dragon Ball universe that he extrapolated from the events that occurred. So the first one is that when time. All right, so rule number one: when time traveling in Dragon Ball, the timeline diverges from the arrival of the future time traveler. So when Trunks goes back to the past to warn them about the androids, it creates a new timeline. That's rule number one. Now, rule number two is that timelines that are when Trunks travels to that timeline, it creates a link between the future Trunks, where the androids destroyed everything, and the main timeline where Goku lives from the heart virus. Now this link, what it does is it prevents the timeline from branching further. So, and this is shown when Trunks comes back after the 3 years that they train to help them fight the androids, and everybody recognizes him. If it was a different Trunks, or if it was, if the timeline was branching again, they wouldn't recognize him, just like Quaman says. So rule number three is if a time traveler goes further back in time than another time traveler, this will branch, even if it's from the same timeline. So when Cell goes back in time and he goes before Trunks came back, this creates another timeline where Cell is already buried in the ground when Trunks warns Goku about the androids. So those are the three rules. Now, I would like to say that those are not officially anything. They're not official. Licensed by Toei or anything like that. But given the things that happen in the series, they are definitely credible enough because that's what happened. You can't even really debate it. That's what happened. So, to move on to the actual meat of the topic, but keep those rules in mind because that's going to come up later. When Black appears in the past, right? It's because Trunks went back to the past to get help, and when he goes and they think that his energy is similar to Zamasu's, so they go destroy Zamasu. Now I'm just gonna kind of explain the loop for you. Now they go, Beerus goes and destroys Zamasu, but the future is not. It's still destroyed, and when that happens, Beerus is absolutely convinced that destroying Zamasu in the past will right the future. And basically, Trunks will just disappear. He'll never have had to come back. But the problem with that is that Beerus would have never known to destroy Zamasu unless Trunks came back. So only by time traveling can he fix the time travel, I guess, is weird. So it creates a paradox, which the normal rules that Quaman, extrapolated shouldn't allow for that, even though it, worked out in Goku's favor, so, because obviously he didn't get his body stolen and his family killed and stuff. But basically what it is Beerus destroying Zamasu is what branches the timeline and makes it so that Zamasu never becomes Goku Black. And it's very important that we emphasize that Beerus is absolutely sure, he is positive that destroying Zamasu will fix the future. And he's a god. He should know what he's talking about. And another thing is that Whis never says, "Oh, you're wrong, Lord Beerus." He never contradicts Beerus. So Whis knows what he's talking about too. So by all logic, by the logic of the gods, destroying Zamasu in the present should affect the future. But it doesn't. And then when they go back to the future, right, Goku Black. Now, I want to make clear that this was in the English dub. I'm not 100% sure if he said the exact same thing in the original Japanese, but I'm going off the English for this theory, so bear with me. Black states that in the English dub, Black states that the time ring protects him from changes to the timeline. So to me, this suggests that both the rules that Quaman extrapolated, and Beerus being sure that destroying Zamasu would fix the future, both apply. But I think it's a matter of gods and mortals. Like the original Cell Saga rules with the multiple branching timelines and stuff, that applies when mortals mess with time. But when a god of destruction fixes time, it should work like that because of their authority and the laws of the universe or whatever, the dragon world, that when a god of destruction destroys someone who meddled with time, it should fix the timeline. Now, to me, what this says is that in the future, when they went back to go check and the future was still destroyed, that's when Black revealed that the time ring is what protected him from changes to the timeline. So, to me, that implies that if Black ever just took off the time ring, just took it off his finger, he would lose that protection and the universe would right itself because his past self was destroyed. So he would disappear and Trunks would never have had to come back, which would kind of mess the timeline up more, but we're not going to get into that. That's kind of a plot hole, I guess, in my theory. But basically, it says to me that if Black took off the time ring, he would have disappeared, and so would have the future would have returned to the state that it was at previously, except just a year later. Or maybe all of causality. That's weird. To think about. Maybe all of causality would have just it would have been a year later, but it's it would have been, everybody would have remembered as if nothing ever happened, even though Goku and Vegeta could see way it was destroyed a second ago and now it's not. For Trunks and Mai and future Bulma and everyone else, they would have just been happy and nothing had ever happened. Now, so this is kind of a cool little thing to think about, because what that really says is that both Trunks and Beerus are right with their interpretations of time travel. That Trunks with his multiversal time travel, and also, the thing that Quaman outlined. But also Beerus is correct because he's a god, so he obviously knows what he's talking about. And the only reason that Beerus ended up being incorrect is because Goku Black had the time ring. So let's put it this way. Let's say that Goku Black time traveled another way. Let's say he didn't have the time ring. Or let's say, I know Goasu would never do this, but let's say Goasu used the time ring to bring him to the future and then just kind of dropped him off and left. So Goku Black was in the future without the time ring. If Beerus went and destroyed Zamasu in the present, the Goku Black in the future disappears. I'm reasonably positive that is what would happen. So what that tells me is that in the Dragon World, both multiversal time travel, where it's multiverse theory and every time travel creates a new timeline, and standard, let's call it dynamic time travel, where changing the past affects the future, those both apply to the Dragon World, just in different ways for gods and mortals. Like, what that tells me is kind of that, like, Trunks is kind of breaking the universe by time traveling, and Beerus is fixing the universe by negating time travel, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. It's very interesting because I don't remember, it was kind of a long time ago, and I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I don't remember the Japanese original lines ever saying anything about the time ring protecting him from changes. So that time ring is a very important plot point, and the fact that it protected him from Beerus's destruction when Beerus's destruction should have wiped them out, that kind of shows that the Dragon World has more than one type of time travel and more than one set of laws for that time travel. So that's basically it with my theory. The last thing I want to say before I sign off here is that I would really like to see a video from Quaman, basically like a part 2 to his time travel theory regarding Goku Black, because that definitely adds a whole nother layer of everything to his video. So I would definitely like to see that. And Quaman, Detective Q, if you see this video, please take that into consideration. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell. You know what to do. And I'll see you guys next time. MSS out.